Will you join me today as we take on this challenge of mastering the techniques in Bert Dodson's book, Keys to Drawing? Let's see if we can improve our drawing skills with this full book walkthrough series. This is the 6th part of the series, so if you haven't watched the previous videos, I'll pop a link down in the comments section to the full playlist below. If you work through this series in order, things that I talk about today should make a bit more sense to you. And I'll also pop a link down below in the video description to the book and the recommended materials for these exercises. So in this next part of the book, Bert Dodson discusses how fatigue can start to creep in during these periods of intense observation. And Dodson suggests that one sign of fatigue is a sudden awareness of the passage of time. And when he says this, it reminds me of my own creative process where I can get in the zone and it's like time stops and I'm just painting. Then after a while, I just start to look at the time and become more aware, more conscious of it and more easily distracted. And I think going forwards, I'll be more cognizant of that. Just realise that when I'm starting to get distracted easily, more aware of time passing, and that's a sign to me that fatigue and tiredness are starting to settle in and I should step away and take a rest for a moment and come back to it. And he also suggests that when we become fatigued and we become more easily distracted and aware of time and everything, we tend to start drawing from our knowledge again of the thing we're looking at, drawing from what we know rather than what we see. And he says one thing that can be helpful is to focus on the important parts of our subject first, such as the face and the hands, and then we just simplify the other areas of the drawing. So this is something I try to do on my drawings anyway, I think. I sort of pick a focal point and then I add more detail and contrast to that spot, and just, like pick an area to add more detail, and other areas are more out of focus, more faded out, so that the viewer's drawn to that important part of your drawing or painting. And it also leaves room for the viewer to sort of fill in the gaps with their own story behind the art. And it's just up to us as the artist, really, where we want to focus our viewers' attention, asking ourselves questions like what's important and what story we want to tell. Now for this week's exercise, we need to find a mechanical object, something around the house, something that's got some interesting details to it, something quite complex, like a old sewing machine or a typewriter. I'll be drawing a kerosene lamp that I've got. Probably not the most ideal thing, it's all sort of curved shapes and a little bit awkward to draw as a quick sketch, but I'll give that a go. And so just find something similar to that, whatever you've got. And we just need to use like a HB pencil, 2B pencil, and as we've discussed earlier in this video, just sort of pick one or two areas of focus and draw those parts in detail and get those in first, and then just leave the rest as like just simple contour lines, like a simple outline for the rest of it, just sort of suggesting it's there, and don't spend much time on that bit. And just remember what we've learnt before as well, where we view the subject more than our drawing on the page. We spend more time focusing on the subject itself and try to identify all the big shapes first and then the secondary shapes, and try drawing blind too in a couple of places, so you're not just always looking at your page. Try drawing looking at the subject, and we can squint also to help us simplify, to identify the big shapes and shadow shapes and that sort of stuff like we've learnt before. So give that a go, see how you get on with it. Just relax, don't take it too seriously or stressfully, just enjoy it and see how it comes out, and I'm sure you'll learn something from it, whatever the outcome is. I'll add a thumbnail to the screen now that will take you to the entire playlist for this full book walkthrough series. I'll put them all in one big playlist, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you're alerted of future content like this, and let us know in the comments how you're finding this series and tell us about your own art journey, and I think that's about it for this one. Until next time, onwards.